Hi there, my name is Mr. Labidis, and in this video we will continue talking about AP Statistics 5.2 topic, which is dedicated on the central limit theorem. If you have been following my videos, my series on AP Statistics, so far we have talked about what sampling distributions are and why they often look normal thanks to the central limit theorem. In this video now, I will focus on the key properties of sampling distributions and explain how changing the sample size affects their center, their spread, and shape. These formulas, and that's a good thing, are usually given in exams, but understanding what they mean is essential. Let's start with properties of sampling distributions for sample means. And let's begin with center. The mean of the sample distribution of the sample mean equals the population mean itself. This means that the sample mean is an unbiased estimator of the population mean, and we will talk about biased and unbiased point estimates on the next topic. But for now, no matter how large or small the sample size is, the center of the sample distribution will always be at the true population mean. And that's an amazing statement. With regards to the spread, otherwise standard deviation, the standard deviation of the sampling distribution of the sample mean is called standard error. So from now on, when we refer to standard error, we have to understand that it's exactly that. It's the standard deviation of the sampling distribution of means. That standard error would be equal to the population standard deviation, the actual standard deviation of the population, divided by the square root of the sample size, by the square root of n. Now, it's a fraction, so as the sample size increases, the denominator will become larger, so the standard error becomes smaller. And that's something that should come naturally. We increase the size, the standard error gets lower. This also means, however, that sample means tend to cluster more tightly around the population mean when we use larger samples. What about the shape? The shape of the sample distribution of the sample mean, as we should already know, is approximately normal if the sample size is at least 30, or if the population itself was already normal. And with that, we just finished the properties for sample means. Let's move on the properties of sample distributions for sample proportions. And let's begin again with the center. The mean of the sample distribution of the sample proportion will also be equal to the population proportion itself, exactly like in the sample distributions for sample means. With regards to the spread now, the standard deviation of the sample distribution of the sample proportion, which is also called standard error, will be given by the fraction, the root of the fraction p, which is the actual population proportion, times 1 minus p, and all that over n. And from here, we can see just like with sample means, increasing the sample size here, we decrease the standard error. Finally, about the shape. We know that the sampling distribution of the sample proportion is approximately normal when two inequalities apply. N times P, the size and the actual population proportion, is greater or equal than 10, and at the same time, N times 1 minus P is also greater or equal than 10. Let's move on to the effect of sample size. Basically, we'll summarize how changing the sample size affects a sample distribution. As the sample size increases, as we keep using more of the individuals from that population, we saw that the center stays the same, the actual mean. The mean of the sample distribution does not depend on the size at all. What changes is the variability. The standard error becomes smaller. And why is that? Because we saw that n takes part in the denominator of the standard error. And with regards to the shape becomes more and more and more normal. Let's see, however, how we would visually recognize these things in simulations. When comparing histograms or dot plots, that might happen in the exams, from different simulations of different sample sizes, smaller sample sizes have a tendency to produce distributions with wider spread. So smaller size, wider spread, and more variability. Larger sample sizes, however, produce distributions that are narrower, less variable, and more concentrated around the center. Let's think of this example. Suppose we have 3 simulations, all with the same population proportion of 0.7, but we used different sample sizes. The simulation with the largest sample size will have the narrowest and most concentrated sampling distribution. So it's up to us to visualize these distributions and see what would the narrowest and more concentrated be. And as always, let's keep this final takeaway. Sample size does not change the center of sampling distribution, but it strongly affects its variability, its spread and shape. Larger samples lead to more precise estimates and less variability, which is why larger samples are preferred in statistical studies. That was all for now. I hope I helped you make things a bit more clear. In case you still have issues, you still have questions, don't be shy, leave them in the comment section below. And don't forget that if you want more theory, more of common mistakes, and more exam-style questions, you can find the full PDF either on the link in the description below or on my website, haralambidisdimitris.com. As always, thank you for watching.